And I decided I thought a little bit about Juan Thornhill too, the safety from Virginia, but I'm going to be a little bit unconventional. I'm going to take Darrell Henderson, the running back from Memphis. Now I know they signed Latavius Murray. He's going to be, 29 years old, I think. But I think Henderson is just a great value. And he also provides some immediate impact for that team that's got their window closing in the next couple of years.
Yep. I'm up with the Chiefs. They took... Who are their starting cornerbacks? They took a cornerback. They need linebacker. They need a guard as well. Let's see who's available. I don't know if I want to give them Michael Dieter or anyone like that. Maybe they can get someone like that in the second round. Oh, this one's tough. I might just give them Amani. Should I double dip in cornerback?
Yeah, I think they could use 2 cornerbacks for sure.
Yeah, I'll double dip on cornerback. Go with Amani Oruwariye. And with the last pick, Gavin, you got the Patriots once again.
Okay, so filled a couple of positions for them, but their biggest player in the league would probably be edge at the moment, apart from tight end. So I'm going to go with O'Shane Isim. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah. And I think that is a solid pick in that position.
Awesome. We didn't see much of a run on wide receivers yet. What do you guys see, Mike? What do you see the wide receiver run, cornerback run happening in the draft?
Well, that cornerback run is going to be really, really interesting because it's going to start, in my opinion, right around pick 20, and it's going to go all the way through until about the middle of the third round. And from what I've heard, these teams have a lot of different opinions about the order in which these corners are going to go. So you've got Greedy Williams, you've got Baker, and you've got Byron Murphy, and those are the 3 that have been talked about, quite a bit. Unfortunately, though, for them, there are some new names that have kind of joined that list. I mentioned Justin Lane. I'm not sure he's in that category, but he is on my board. Sean Bunting, though, is right there. Rock Ya-Sin could potentially be the first cornerback picked. Although, again, I would take Greedy Williams. And then you've got, Julian Love if you need a nickelback. Joe Juan Williams if, there's a team out there that thinks that he could stay outside in his 40 times a flu. You've got Lonnie Johnson, another big physical cornerback from Kentucky, could be, a top 50 pick. There are a lot of them. Trayvon Mullen from Clemson. So there are going to be some value in that second and third round in quarterback. And then finally, the guy that you like, JP, David Long, tremendously underrated, and he should go right in that range too. As far as receivers, I think the value starts right
Mike, you're breaking up a little.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just some background noise, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with receivers, I think that pick or the value, starts really right around the Baltimore Ravens pick in the first round. So you've got Marquise Brown, you've got DK Metcalf, and N'Keal Harry. I know he just worked out for the Arizona Cardinals the other day, so he could be in play if he makes 33. You've got Paris Campbell's going to be a high second round pick. And then you've got guys later on in the second round like Deebo Samuel and Hakeem Butler and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So you're looking at the second and third round really being the sweet spot for some of those receivers.
Cool.
Do you like Deebo Samuel?
I like Deebo a lot. He really impressed at the Senior Bowl. And he carried it through the combine. I think he's just kind of getting pushed down because some of these other guys who didn't get a chance to participate in the Senior Bowl kind of made a name for themselves at the combine. Like Paris Campbell, for example, was kind of looked at as being a guy who's got to make plays close to the line of scrimmage. And then all of a sudden he gets to the combine and he looks really smooth in the vertical game. So he's got scouts saying, well, maybe he just, wasn't asked to do that at Ohio State, but he can do it in the NFL. So I could see Deebo Samuel, I'd say late second round, mid to late second round. It wouldn't shock me if he got to the third round like he did in this projection, I believe. But he'd be a great, great third round pick. And I like him in the second.
Yeah, there's also another name that we haven't mentioned, Riley Ridley. I mean, he's probably got the best route running of the wide receivers this year. And he's not even gone in the top 64 picks that we've just picked. So is there a reason why you think teams wouldn't be high on him and teams would wait to the third round to get him?
Well, with Ridley, I just think, you have so many receivers who are going to go in that late first to second round range. And you're right. He's a great route runner, and that trumps almost everything else. I mean, you look at like Keenan Allen, I think ran a 4.8 at his combine or at his pro day, and Jarvis Landry ran like 4.6 or something like that. But I think the knock on Ridley is, first of all, he's a little bit old. I think he's 23. He's not that athletic. He wasn't that productive at Georgia, although usually their receivers aren't because they run the ball so much. And I've heard that there are some concerns about how quickly he'll be able to pick up an NFL playbook. I'm not sure whether or not that's a fair criticism or not. But I could see Riley Ridley falling to the third round.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a clip recently of another player who's not going this year, but is going to go next year. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Judy.
Jerry Judy.
Yeah, yep. He looks like a baller, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think next year is going to be good value for wide receiver as well.
Absolutely. Jerry Judy, at this point, he's the top 10 pick, and he's a potential top 5 pick. He is the closest thing we've seen to a Julio Jones in a long time.
Hey, Ray, what's the buzz over there in the Bay Area about the draft? Are people as excited as we are for 4 picks in the top 35?
I think, you know what the funniest thing that's going on around is the conversation with what the 49ers do. I'm hearing they're strongly considering both Quinnen and Bosa. Whatever they do there is going to have an effect going down, especially with Oakland. And the joke is that I guess half, I can't say half. Let's just say that there's some fans apprehensive about Bosa being the pick.
Yeah.
Because of his political views. But to me, I mean, you know what? Just win, baby, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if ownership cares at all. It's just mostly the fans.
Exactly.
Wait, where are you watching the draft?
I have the unfortunate task of working Thursday. So I will be in the office, but on Friday, I've been given the opportunity to work from home.
Nice.
So Friday will be me in front of my battle station, trying to break down players, trying to see why teams made the moves they did.
Are you still with the Raider Ramble?
Yeah, I'm still clicking away there, and my my latest mock draft, like I said, drew the ire of some fans, where they're like, "Why are you taking guard?" And it's like, don't you want to keep Derek Carr upright? I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, they rather take another quarterback because they don't believe in Carr, or they take a guard to protect him. It goes either way, doesn't it?
Hey, Mike, where are you watching the draft?
So my wife and I just had a daughter a couple weeks ago. So the 3 of us will be parked in front of the TV on Thursday night. So I'm looking forward to that.
Is your wife a football fan as well?
Oh yeah, she's a big Raider fan. She is big Raider fan.
Really?
And we met during the Terrell Pryor year. So I told her, she had to. Well, she didn't have to, but I told her that the draft was really important. So she actually watched her first draft before she watched her first game, and that was the Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, Dave Jackson draft.
That's a good draft.
I bet she I bet she was disappointed after that draft, though. Has she watched it since?
Yeah, every draft since then has definitely been a disappointment. That's for sure. Fair enough.
Hey, Mike, so you're coming on the pod again tomorrow, right? We wanted to go create a big board, positional, like a horizontal defensive board for the Raiders. So
Sounds good.
that should be cool. I
Yep.
think anything else you guys discussed before we end the pod, or Gavin, is there anything else you want to get to?
To be honest with you, I just wanted to touch on the edge position and who everyone thinks are the top fits for the Raiders this year. Just briefly, that's all I wanted to touch on.
Okay. Ray, Mike, one of you guys could start. See who the best fits are. Go ahead, Ray.
I'll go.
First. Yeah.
I'll go. I got 3 guys that I really like for Oakland. Montez Sweat, if he falls or anything of that nature. My joke is I hope that Montez Sweat and Maurice Hurst combine power so I can call them the New Heart Foundation. The other 2 guys are more strong side guys. Zach Allen from Boston College. And then much later in the draft, I like John Kaminsky out of Charleston. I think he fits the strong side that Gunther wants in his guys. Big, strong guys that can set the edge and then have enough juice to get the passer.
Yeah, those are 3 solid guys. Mike?
Yeah, so I pretty much agree with Ray on that. So obviously at 4, if Nick Bosa or Josh Allen are there, they make a lot of sense. Montez Sweat, I think it was yesterday, just decided that after all this controversy about his medical condition, that he's not going to attend the draft. So who knows what that means? It could mean he could slide a little bit. If he's there at 24, 27, that certainly makes a lot of sense. So does Cleveland Ferrell. I like how Ray mentioned some of these strong side defensive ends. He mentioned Kaminsky. I think if Kaminsky's there with our 4th round pick, that's a terrific pick for the Raiders. A couple other guys who are similar to him, Zach Allen. I don't think Zach Allen gets to the 4th round, but I think maybe at pick 35 he could make some sense. L.J. Collier, I think it is also one of those strong side defensive ends that could be in play. Unfortunately, I think he would go probably between 35 and their 4th round pick, so they might have to move down or move up from the 4th round if they wanted to get him.
Okay, so I actually think the Montez Sweat situation is similar to Maurice Hurst. I think there is a possibility he rather gets someone to take a punt on him early doors, or he falls just as far as Maurice Hurst did.
Yeah, Montez, I don't think he's going to fall out of the 1st round. I mean, he might if the Raiders don't pick him, but he's definitely going in the 2nd round. I think Maurice Hurst was more serious. They didn't even allow him to participate in the combine. So anyway, yeah. I think we're going to do a deep dive in tomorrow's podcast on positions and create a horizontal big board for the Raiders today, mock draft. And I'm going to link our interview with Raiders linebacker Jason Cabinda right before this. So if you're listening to the podcast, you probably heard it already. Thank you to Mike. Thank you, Ray, Gavin. Always. Thanks for listening. And keep listening and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. That'll be a big help. And we'll come back after the next week's episode and do a little recap. Thank you, guys.